Hi, ex-Mormon family. So somebody asked me in the comments this week why I left the Mormon church, and I figured we're just gonna get this out of the way really quick. Number one, somebody really offended me. They called me a Karen at church, and I couldn't go back. Number two, I really just wanted to sin. Like, and the other one, I was really lazy and just didn't want to read my scriptures. And then number four, Satan got me. And number five, it's not true. This is the Angry Stage, and I'm Jessie. Just kidding, no. Okay, so, but for real though, there's 5 reasons. Somebody asked me for the 5 top reasons why I left the Mormon church. And I have to pick up my kids pretty soon, but I really wanted to do this really fast and kind of just give you guys an overview of why I left. The first thing for me was learning about the Book of Abraham, and that what I was taught about the Book of Abraham did not match up with anything that scholars were saying about it. I was taught that the Book of Abraham was translated by Joseph Smith and that it was an ancient document, and it turns out this isn't the case. This isn't what actually happened. The document, it wasn't written by Abraham or actually translated by Joseph Smith. Number 2, a lot of people drink coffee. And so I wanted to understand, what is it specifically that the Mormon church is against when it comes to coffee? I started doing research, started learning more about it, and realized that coffee in moderation, along with no sugar, added sugars, or added things, it can actually be really good for you. And actually it's better for you than Diet Coke, which the church allows, or sugary sodas, which the church allows. And so reading about that made me realize, oh my goodness, tea and coffee are actually supposed to be really good for you. Why are they not allowed? And it didn't make sense to me, and it's something that just sat on my shelf for a very long time. Number 3, I think this one is kind of an all over big one, but the fact that I could not find any archaeological evidence for the Book of Mormon. And I'd spent a lot of time researching online, a lot of time looking, and there's supposed to have been these huge battles with millions of people who died in the Book of Mormon, but there's no swords, there's no chariots, there's no evidence for these huge battles that were supposed to have happened. And that really was a huge shelf item for me. The next one, number 4, is the church's stances on the LGBTQ community and how they treat us. I am bisexual myself, and I was not able to accept myself for who I was as a member, or even come out until recently. And really, when I say I came out, most of my family still doesn't know. But those teachings were very harmful to me. And then in 2015, the church came out with a policy that was actually really harmful for families and to these people who are part of the LGBTQ community. The church claimed that this was a revelation, and then it turns out that in 2019 they rescind that, call it a policy, and pretend like it was God's fault, almost. Like the way they talk about it afterwards, it's almost like they're blaming God in a way and not taking any accountability for the harm that they caused. And it sucked. It really bothered me. But the thing that actually broke my shelf for me was polygamy. Finding out that Joseph had slept with a 14-year-old girl, had married a 14-year-old girl, and had tons of wives, that was just too much for me. And I couldn't even look any farther into it as a member because there was so much cognitive dissonance around it. I really struggled with it, and I wanted to have some reason behind it, but couldn't find a reason, couldn't really defend it, even though I wanted to, because as a member, I thought Joseph was supposed to be this great, amazing, humble person, and it turned out that he was using women for his own pleasure, and using women almost as objects in a way. And when I left and was actually able to research more, and found out that Emma didn't even know about most of his wives, and that he had married multiple teenagers, 7 or 8 teenagers who were under the age of 18. Like, a prophet of God wouldn't do that. And if there is a God, I don't think any God would allow such behavior from a leader or from a man that he's appointed to be a prophet. So I had a hard time with that one, and I struggled with all of these. And mind you, there's so many more things. These are just the ones that are on the top of my head right now. And when I left and did more research, I found so many more things that just confirmed to me that the church's truth claims don't hold up, and that the church has been hiding things from me and essentially lying to me by omission my entire life. They don't want these issues talked about. That's why people who talk about them and talk about the truth claims and talk about Joseph Smith and his treasure seeking get excommunicated. And I think the church has kind of caught on that excommunications actually are harming them more than it is helping anybody. But yeah, that's in a nutshell, that's why I left the church. So just FYI guys, I am having surgery in a few days. I don't know how often I will be posting after that. I've not been great about posting on here. I'm still posting on TikTok. And we'll see kind of where I'm at in a few weeks. I'm gonna probably take some time to heal, and I don't know, maybe I'll get so bored that I end up shooting videos from my bed. Who knows? Who knows? All right, I will see you guys in the next video. Be kind to each other. Have a good one.